Hi friends, and welcome to today's video. And it's gonna be another project vlog, which we all know and love. Hopefully this is gonna be a pretty quick project too, and I'm really hopeful because I want to wear this ASAP. In this video, we're gonna be making the perfect summer tank top again. I actually made this exact top like a year ago and I loved it so much, so we're gonna make another version, but this one is gonna be a little different because we're gonna do some stripes. So let's get started with our project. As always, let me know in the comments what project you're working on during this video. Also, be sure to check out my other socials if you want to stay up to date in live time with all the things that I'm making. Let's get started. I'm so excited to cast on. This is the yarn selection, which is kind of crazy to me. It does not look like very much yarn, like at all, but I think I counted it right. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but it looks like not a lot of yarn. You guys don't even want to know what I just went through. I literally just spiraled over there for a second because classic me. Okay, let me walk you through the whole thing. It's really stupid. But I made this top twice, like a year or so ago. I'm making the sabai top, by the way. I've talked about it a lot. I love this pattern. I've been wanting to make something striped, and I've been wanting to make a summer piece that I can like actually wear, because I've been like, I literally bought the yarn to make a sweater and I was like, girl, I need to stop making sweaters because it's so hot and I'm not able to wear them. And so I was like, yeah, I just bought the yarn to make the legs pullover, but pivoting, I want like a quicker knit right now. And so I decided, no sweater, we're gonna make a tank top. And I already have the pattern for this, and I was like, this would be cute as stripes. I keep thinking I know how to count and like order the right amount of yarn, but I literally still don't. But the first time I like definitely didn't know. And so I was using Sanda's yarn line, and I got 4 balls of it, and then it was too much. Like, I only used 3. So the second time I bought 3 and it was the perfect amount. And then this time I was looking up Sanda's yarn and I didn't like love the color options I had, and then this amazing yarn came up, and it's like the same fiber and everything, but it was just like, I don't know, a fifth of the price or something, right? So I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna buy this instead. But the ball looks like way smaller, which is what I was rambling about in the beginning. The ball looks way smaller, but the grams and the yards, like all of it is like pretty much the same. I think the yards, like I think it's a little bit longer, which is really confusing to me because the ball of it just looks so small. And then I don't know why, but I like didn't look up. I guess it makes sense not to look at the pattern since I did make this before, and I probably just made the top shorter than what the pattern says. And so when I looked at the pattern again, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a ball of yarn short. And I was like, frick, because this stuff takes so long to come in. Now I'm gonna have to wait again, and I hate waiting. But it's fine. I'm just gonna get started. All of that to say, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dumb. I like ordered the wrong amount of yarn. After I spiraled a little bit about that, I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll get started. And then I realized I don't remember what size I knit last time. And so I went back through all my YouTube videos talking about it. I guess I'm not very good at like writing out, which I know, I gotta be better at it. I'm not very good at writing out like what I'm doing. I'm really trying to get better at it. I think when I made this the first time, like whatever, a year and a half ago, I was especially bad at writing everything out. I didn't write anything anywhere. And so I was like watching all my videos for like 30 minutes trying to figure out. And then I figured out I made an extra small. All of that to say, we are doing a long tail cast on now to make another extra small. 4, 5, 6. Remember how to do a long tail cast on? I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Things don't change, guys. Things don't change. I'm still the most type B knitter. Alright guys, I cast on my stitches and it's time to do our first round, which is like the setup round. So I'm going to be placing some stitch markers as I go. It has actually been such a long time since I've knit. I roll my eyes at myself because that's being a little bit dramatic. Such a long time, but longer than I would have liked. And honestly, that was like my own thing. I was kind of like procrastinating starting this project just because, even though I've made this before and I know it's a relatively easy project, I don't know. Something about like the starting of a new project is like just not that fun for me. Like it always gives me like low-key like Sunday scaries. Like I just don't like doing it. Sometimes I like forget how to knit as I'm knitting. Okay, wait, I think I got it. Knitting in the round is still kind of confusing to me sometimes. I remember like before I really understood knitting, what am I saying? Even now, as you just saw, the concept of circular needles was kind of insane to me. Still is. I changed it out also to my smallest cable, and I think it's still too long. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do about that. Finally, I think I'm ready to start actually knitting. You know, this is exactly why I don't like starting new projects. There's so much of this like figuring stuff out. Also just realized I'm just like that kind of in life. Like I think everyone is a little bit, but I don't know, I'm like worse than I thought. Like I like to do and learn new things, but at the same time, it like takes a lot out of me. Maybe I should switch out my short needles. Guys, happy Easter. It's Easter when I'm filming this, and as you can see, I got a little bit of a start on my top. I'm only like 4 rows in, but I am hoping to get some more work on this end today. So hopefully I'll have a good update for you by the end of the day. I am doing like a striped pattern for this. So I'm gonna do 4 rows of this blue and then 2 rows of this brown. And I'm just starting my first stripe. The only other thing I think I've done stripes on is a pair of shorts, and I didn't love how it turned out. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers that this second go at it works out a little better. I don't even remember what exactly I did last time, but I don't know. I did some kind of seam where it was like kind of diagonal, and I feel like it's very visible. So I looked up a little tutorial, and I'm trying a bit of a different method and hoping that it will just look a little bit better. I also, you probably can't tell, but I changed out my needle for my shorties. I actually feel like it's going a little bit, oh wait, I don't know what people do, but I'm starting my stripe in the back, and I wonder if I should have started it. Oh wait, that's funny. I didn't even realize I'm wearing my other sabai top right now. So this is what I'm making, except without the like ribbing here. But I kind of wonder if I should have done, well, it's too late. I wonder if I should have done my stripes kind of differently, but it's okay. But I switched out my needles for my shorties because my full length needles were just a little bit too long when I was starting off with the neck. But honestly, like I really did not like knitting with the shorties the first time I tried it out. I feel like it's gotten a lot better. Like it's a little bit more comfortable. Still definitely not as comfortable as using like regular length needles, but I'm getting the hang of it. Just finished my second round of my first brown stripe. So this is my first time switching back to my main color, and I believe I was like looking at it, and I think the type of stripe stitch I'm using is called doing a jogless join. So every time I do a stripe, I think I lose a stitch on the connecting stitch, if that makes sense. I'm still figuring it out, so we'll see if this works. Did I do that right? Who knows? I think the 2 colors of yarn should end up kind of like wrapping around each other in the back so that they're not loose. Hopefully I do it right. Did I do this right? Oh yeah, I think so. Can you see this? It's a little bit hard to tell, but this stitch on the left of the yellow marker only has 1 brown stitch, whereas all the others have 2. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know, part of me feels like that'll be so noticeable with a finished top, especially down the back. Like, yeah, maybe this should have been like kind of done on the side or something, but I don't know. I feel like if I did it on the side, then my stripes would have been uneven, right? I don't really know. It's okay. It's my first time doing it. Also, not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm feeling the colors, which is kind of silly, but I mean, I bought the yarn already. The yarn was also so cheap, so I'm kind of like not that concerned, but I don't know if I'm vibing with them, right? I don't know. think I wanted the blue to be a little bit lighter and the brown to be a little bit darker. But sometimes I feel like, I mean, TBH, that is exactly what swatching is for, but I don't think I bought enough yarn to do a swatch. I guess I could have done a swatch, undid it after so that I could use it, but y'all know I'm not gonna do that. Okay, now that I'm kind of getting the stripes down, I feel like the rest of the top will hopefully be a breeze. I remember this pattern being pretty simple, so I'm bringing this project with me on the go today to an Easter party, so hopefully I'll be able to get a couple of rows in. We'll see. I'll let you know. Hey guys, so I forgot to update you last night, but this is how much I got done on my sabai top. One second, I just messed up. A bit hectic over here, but I brought this out with me to work on it. I didn't bring everything I needed. I always think that I do, but then I always forget something. And so I didn't realize I was going to split off the front and the back so soon. And so I didn't bring like an additional cable. I could have cut some of my yarn, but I think I'm gonna need every scrap that I can get. So I used, I don't know if this is absolutely nasty or if it's kind of clever, but I used floss to hold my stitches. But now that we're back home, I'm moving it over to the proper cable, except I almost dropped all my stitches. So thankfully the floss did its job. Also guys, I kind of like gave myself the ick. I'm a little worried because I think I told you, but like I ordered these colors online and I'm still not very good at ordering. I don't know what happened. I'm not great at ordering yarn online. I thought both of the shades were gonna be a little different. Like I wanted the blue to be a little lighter. Maybe they didn't have a lighter blue, so this is just the lightest one they had and I went with it, which that's my mistake. You can't just do that. And so I wish the blue was a little lighter. I actually wish the brown was a little darker as well. I'll put in like the color palette that I was more so going for. And I was like, whatever, because I got this and like, I don't even know if I can return the yarn. And like the yarn wasn't that expensive to begin with. So I was like, it's fine. I'll just make this anyways, right? And then I'm making it and I like can't really tell. Like I still can't really tell if I like it. I kind of don't think I do. Will I wear it? I don't know. But I think I realized why I don't like it, because I don't think it's the colors in general that I don't like together, but I think the very first time I like knit a sweater back when I was studying abroad in London, I used like this shade of blue and brown and I like thought that sweater was absolutely atrocious. And so now I feel like that has kind of in itself conditioned me to not like these colors. So I am a little bit worried that I'm not gonna wear this because I just have the permanent ick from this color combo. But maybe if I look up enough like Pinterest inspo of these colors together, maybe it'll like change things for me. I wish I didn't do this with the freaking floss. It's really annoying for me right now. Guys, it's been a little bit since I've updated you, but we've definitely made some good progress. This is the front of the top. I hate to admit this, but the more I do this, I don't know if I really like the color combo, but I feel like I need to convince myself. We are seeing it come together. I feel like you can't fully tell until you finish a project, so I'm just gonna give it some time. I mean, like, no matter what, I'm probably gonna finish it, but we have worked a good amount on the front, and I'm just remembering why I love this pattern so much, because it works up so quickly. I think I have a couple more rows to go on the front, and then I believe we pick up the back stitches and do the same thing basically. So we'll just keep knitting away. dear friends, I hope that you can forgive me. It has genuinely been so long since I filmed for this video. Like, don't really remember the last time I sat down and filmed. I think I took like a couple phone clips of me knitting this, hopefully. I don't really know. To be honest, I have a lot of thoughts on this project, so let's do a little catch up. But hello to the new space. I think this is my first time, other than my actual moving content, that I'm filming in my new apartment, so that's kind of crazy. I don't know where this came from. But that's kind of crazy that this sabai top video spans 2 different apartments. It spans a whole move. That's how long it's taken me to make this. But as you can see, I think since the last time I did like a actual catch up update chat with you guys, I think I've gotten like quite a lot done. It's almost a full top. This is crazy, but I haven't even tried this on, not even once yet. And I'm not going to tonight either. This is how much yarn I have left. And the big issue here is, and I talked about this a little, my updates on like Instagram and TikTok. I'm trying to do more like live updates on TikTok especially, but y'all, I think we saw this coming from the beginning, but I'm not really like loving this. I'm not really a huge fan at the moment, and I'm saying at the moment, but I think we all know I'm just not a huge fan of it. Like, even from when I got the yarn, I was a little skeptical, and I've kind of learned my lesson that if you're skeptical in the beginning, when you see the yarn and you're skeptical as you start the project, you should probably just frog it. But I made a little video asking people for like advice, and yes, I acknowledge that I probably should have just not made this whole thing. But a couple things, like I expressed in that video how I bought this yarn specifically for this project, and the issue here is that I just don't like this shade of blue. Like, I swear this shade of blue looked way lighter when I was looking at it online, and so I just wasn't super happy with it. And I don't know, just like it's like $3 for the yarn. Like, I'm not gonna return it, but I'm just gonna, you know, not use it, and it feels like a waste because I ordered it for this project. In my head, I'm like, this top is not that hard to make, and honestly, I just like the act of knitting, and I kind of like mentally already prepared to be making this. So many excuses, right? But I think I knew from the beginning it was a mistake. She says, as she's still currently actively knitting it. But yeah, the more that I just kept going, I don't know, I feel like other people try to convince me, like, no, it looks good, and like, maybe, like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not gonna wear it. And so I posted a little video and asked people like for advice if frogging is not really an option. I started off with, I think in the video, I told you guys like 3 options, and the 3 options were frog it. 2, I was thinking I could try to add like a trim, like on the sleeves, on the collar, and then maybe like a thicker trim even on the bottom, because the other issue is, to be honest, I don't know if this is going to be as long as I want it to be. Like, I thought I remembered the right amount of yarn that I needed based on the other sabai tops that I made, but I might have not remembered correctly based on how this is looking right now. I feel like it's a little bit shorter than I was going for. Okay, so trim, frog. What was my third option? I had another option. I think my third option might have been just to finish it and like maybe never wear it. Which honestly, a lot of things I make and I never wear anyways, so maybe this shouldn't be such an issue. But after posting that, my lovely knitter friends of TikTok gave me some other ideas, a couple of which were, 1, to dye it. And honestly, I like kind of thought about that, and I was like, bruh, like that is such a waste of like me making these stripes, even though making the stripes was really not that much work, but I was still like, that's such a waste. But if it means I'm gonna wear it, that might be honestly what I'm leaning towards. Another person said I could sell it, and I was like, that's also not a bad idea if I'm not gonna wear it anyways. I used to sell some of the stuff I I used to sell some of the stuff I'd crochet, because I'd crochet so many things and I never wore any of it. So honestly, maybe I'm getting to that point with knitting too, who knows. But yeah, since I saw you guys last, I've just been knitting in the round for the body, which has been perfect because I needed a mindless knit for a couple of things. I don't know if you guys do this, but if I have certain like events, I'll like really want to make sure I have a knitting project lined up. So I went to visit some friends in Arizona yeah, like even though the flight to Arizona from SF is not that far, like if I'm gonna be flying somewhere, I need some kind of project, right? And then I actually ended up having a lot of time to knit there too while we like yapped and stuff. So I was able to get kind of a lot done there. And then I also went on a church retreat. There were like no phones and stuff, which meant even more time for knitting. So those two things combined, it was like pretty close together in weekends. Also hence why I have not been uploading as regularly as I would like to. Those 2 weekends were honestly full of knitting, and that's how I was able to get so much done here, but also why I did not have a lot of it filmed. So that's my update. But honestly, we have like not that much yarn left, so I'm predicting I'm gonna finish this within the next like couple days. Once we try it on, I guess we'll decide what's gonna come next. Crazy update, right? This is the moment. I think we're gonna finish our top in this sitting. Here is where we're at right now. It probably looks exactly the same as the last time I showed you. That was like literally last night, but I stopped myself because I only have this much yarn left. It's an absolute mess. I'm going to start binding off now. I don't even know if this is gonna be enough yarn, only the blue part. Do you think that's gonna be enough? We're gonna find out right now. Or I lied. It's a little bit more, and then we're gonna start binding off. I don't know why this project is so messy. At this point, I'm honestly just excited to finish this so that I can start working on my next project. But I will say, I do think I'm gonna go with the dyeing it method, and that does excite me a little bit. I feel like it'll be not just a good test for this to see if I can, you know, make it into something I'll actually wear, but I think it'll be a little comforting knowing in the future that if I unfortunately make the same mistake again, that I will be able to fix it. Or if you make something, you know, in a color palette and you don't like it anymore, years down the line, you can give it a second life by coloring it. Like, I kind of changed my mind a lot, so that would be a comfort to me. All right, we made it to the beginning of the round, so officially time to start the binding off process. You know what I'm gonna do, which I should have done a long time ago, because I'm just gonna cut this brown because I'm actually done with the brown. So I actually don't know why I left it here to get tangled for so long. Watch, it's still gonna be tangled even without the brown here. What does one do with this much scrap yarn? It's kind of crazy that I have not tried this on. I don't think I've tried it on once the whole time I've been making it. I hope nobody's looking at my nails. They're insanely grown out. I know when I'm filming, especially my craft videos and my knitting and crochet videos, you can't help but look at my nails. You're kind of forced to look at them. I swear, it's on my to-do list, removing them. I just hate removing nail stuff. I actually destroy my nails when I do it, unfortunately. Facing a little bit of a pickle now. I have like more than half of it binded off, but this is how much yarn I have left. Something's telling me it's probably, oh my gosh, I almost dropped the whole thing. Oh, I did, oh my gosh, did I? No, I saved it. Yeah, but something's telling me I'm not gonna have enough yarn, which is honestly gonna be like kind of the worst thing ever. So guess we'll see if that happens in like 5 minutes. It's like the worst feeling because you can like kind of see it coming closer and closer you get. Maybe it'll be enough. Why do I feel like this happens to me every single time I make something? Probably means there's an issue with me. A little bit more faith it might work out. think I'm chilling. I think I'm actually chilling. You can never be too sure though. Okay, we are cutting it close, but we're gonna be fine. Thank goodness, I don't know what I was gonna do. I was preparing for it to run out. Finally, would you look at that? Finished top. Let's go try it on. Whoa, welcome to another nook of my new apartment that this camera has not seen yet. This is one of our bathrooms and you're currently on a stand that is not gonna stay here, which is unfortunate because I feel like this angle for filming is really good. Can't believe this is my first time trying this on. From the looks of it, I think it might be a little short, but I like estimated where I bought the same amount of yarn that I used the last time I made it. It might just be like a little bit off because it's striped or I don't really know. Oh, whoa. Yeah, it's a little short. From what I remember, this material doesn't stretch that much when you block it, but I might just try. I feel like I made it wider than I did last time for some reason. Whoa, yeah, I feel like I did something kind of wrong this time because the shape is looking kind of different. Why is the shape looking like this? What's going on? So wide, I'm confused. Why is it? I could have made it so much smaller because I feel like this is actually kind of cute. Maybe it won't be as wide if I feel like it's not my usual reaction with knitting. It's usually like, oh, I like it so much. It's perfect, it's beautiful. Not this time. What's going on? Did I do something wrong? It doesn't feel like the right note to end off a video on though. So let me go like walk around in this, see how I feel. After a little bit more reflection, don't hate me because this is kind of like a little bit of a cliffhanger for this video, but something's going on with this shirt, with the shape of it. I don't know why, because I followed the same pattern, size. The yarn is different, a different brand, but I thought it was the same yarn because it's like the same percentages and composition. And I feel like the shape shouldn't have changed so much. I don't know, I'm really confused because I'll insert like a photo or a video or something of me wearing my other sabai tops and they don't look like this. Maybe it's the blocking, but I don't think it's even the block. I'm not sure. But I actually don't mind the fit itself of this. It's kind of like looser. Maybe my tension was just off, but I don't like how much it like tapers out at the bottom. And also the colors, I don't hate them on as much as I thought I was going to. Another plot twist. So I think I might completely change my mind by the next time this is in a video. But I think I might order another color of yarn, either like another shade of blue or another shade of brown. And I might do like a waistband to cinch it in because I feel like this is so wide on the top that it's almost like slouchy, different kind of neckline. But I'm not minding that. That's not what is bothering me. It's just the bottom. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still glad it's done, but it's actually not really done. Anyways, I'm gonna end off this video here. It's a really weird place to end off a project video, but hey, we gotta, you know, change up the pace. Every video is different. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. No promises that I won't make some random rash decision and try to fix it before I start filming the next video, but guess we will see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me for this process, for this knitting video. I feel like it's been a while since I've gotten a knitting video up, and it's been a while since I've been able to like knit a lot also, which makes me so sad, but I'm so happy that I was able to recently for this project. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.